It is caucus night in Iowa. 6 Republican candidates still standing in the race for the White House. Good evening. I'm Rob McCartney.
I'm Julie Cornell. Omaha's news leader will be with you throughout the night to bring you trusted team coverage. We're live following the candidates in Des Moines, and we're at caucuses in Pottawatomie and Mills counties. We begin with KETV Newswatch 7's Bill Shammer live at Abraham Lincoln High School in Council Bluffs. Bill.
Rob, Julie, this is one of 40 caucus sites in Pottawatomie County. Up to 800 registered voters are allowed to caucus here tonight. And if you can see behind me, there's about, I would say 50 to 60 people. They're supporting a variety of campaigns. Ron DeSantis, Vivek Ramaswamy, Nikki Haley, and of course, former President Donald Trump. I asked a few of these caucus goers about why they would come here tonight, despite the polling numbers that show the former president with such a commanding lead. One of the quotes that a DeSantis supporter told me was, "Republicans have never trusted polls. Why would we start now?" Now, the caucus is set to get underway here in just a few minutes, selecting the president for the Iowa caucus. Just one of their duties they'll have tonight. I do want to say, if former President Donald Trump does take Iowa in the caucuses tonight and does so by more than 41%, which is what George W. Bush did in 2000, that would be a record for Republicans. Rob, Julie, we'll be here all night. Sending it back to you.
We saw some campaign signs behind you there, Bill. They're campaigning already. Thank you.
Now, while Donald Trump is the predicted frontrunner in Iowa, on a night where there are other factors at play, like the weather, anything could happen. Take a closer look at the other candidates on the Iowa tickets.
A recent Suffolk University poll published in the Washington Post found 500 likely caucus goers. 54% said that Trump was their first choice, followed by Haley at 20%, DeSantis at 13%, and Ramaswamy at 6%. It was the first time Haley had moved ahead of DeSantis in Iowa polling.
Well, more Pottawatomie County Republicans are meeting at Thomas Jefferson High School.
And that's where we find KETV Newswatch 7's Quinicia Fraser watching the political process play out at this hour.
Julie, Rob, yes, the caucuses just started here at Thomas Jefferson High School. Right now, Douglas County Election Commissioner Brian Cruz is explaining the proceedings to the people here. I'm going to step out so you can see a little bit of what's going on. Okay, so you can see that he's taking questions right now. There are 3 precincts here with caucus captains from each campaign. One of those caucus captains is Daniel Pritchett Jr. He's with the DeSantis campaign. Daniel, tell me what made you want to volunteer for this campaign?
We need change in this country, and I see DeSantis as more of a family man. We've been through a lot of issues the last several years, and I just plain want to see something better for our country. I want to see smiles on people's faces. I know there's a lot of people that are out there who want to vote for Trump. I voted for him last time, but I don't see him as a family man. He's got a mouth that just goes off, and he don't know when to keep it shut on a lot of different issues. I see that DeSantis, he wants to put up the border, finish it up. He wants to get rid of all these illegals that have come in the country that obviously include a lot of people that could be very dangerous to a lot of the people in this country. And that basically sums it up.
Daniel, tell me, why do you think DeSantis has a chance over Trump?
Well, he's down to earth. I think that there's a lot of people that are seeing through and realizing that Trump has got a lot of baggage. We don't need another 4 years of dealing with that baggage. We need fresh blood is what we need. And I think our country is smarter than that.
Thank you. Daniel Pritchett Jr. representing the DeSantis campaign. Right now, someone else representing the DeSantis campaign is also speaking on behalf of him, and that's what we're going to see throughout the night. People speaking on behalf of the candidates before the voting actually starts. So we'll keep you updated both on air and online. For now, reporting live at Thomas Jefferson High School in Council Bluffs, Quinicia Fraser, KETV Newswatch 7.
Thanks, Quinicia. Now more in rural Mills County, where additional concerns are about the aftermath of that winter storm and how it might impact turnout.
KETV Newswatch 7's Sean McKinnon's live in Glenwood. And Sean, you talked with one gentleman earlier who said he was going for DeSantis as well. Any more people showing up?
Rob, right, plenty of people. There's about 100 here from Glenwood, wards 1 and 3. You can see them all behind me. Right now, the temporary chairs speaking to everyone, starting off with some initial business before they get into speeches. Then folks can give a 2 to 3 minute speech for the candidate that they support. Just anecdotally tonight, I've talked to 6 Trump supporters and just 1 DeSantis supporter. That's just the people I've talked to so far. Right now, they're going to start those speeches, and the man that I talked to who supports Trump says this is his number 1 issue.
I really feel we could be spending money on our own people. Let's get our own country for kids that are not going hungry, for people that are veterans that are not homeless, sitting around the cold trying to find a warm place to, eat and sleep tonight.
And they're starting those speeches right now. We'll have the results from Mills County later tonight. Reporting live, Sean McKinnon, KETV News Watch 7.